Today I'm going to be doing one of my Scenic soaps. So I'm going to go ahead and get suited up, get my safety equipment on, and get started. First off, we want to measure the water and the lye so we can get that mixed up and let it cool while we're measuring the oils. So, go ahead and measure out our water. Then we'll go ahead and measure out our lye. Be very careful when you're handling lye. That's why we're all suited up with gloves and safety glasses. Now that we have our lye and our water measured out, we are going to take these outside and combine them. I don't like combining them inside because of the fumes. So we'll turn off the video and combine them, and then we'll be back. Okay, we're back. We mixed up our lye and our water, and we've set it aside to cool. Now it's time to measure out all of our oils. This particular recipe that I'm making today, I use olive oil, coconut oil, and castor oil. So we are going to measure out all of our oils. I like to do the coconut oil first. Sometimes it's a little harder to measure out if you don't have it good and liquefied. The coconut oil hardens below 76 degrees, so it's a little bit clumpy today, and I did get a little bit too much measured out, so we're going to pull some back out. I do like my measurements to be very precise. I measure everything in grams. Okay, there we go. We have the correct measurement on our coconut oil. I will tell you, I did take my gloves off. I do like to do all my oil measuring without them on. It's just a little easier. Okay, now we're going to do our olive oil next. I am doing a 4-pound batch today, so that requires a lot of oil. side. And then the castor oil will be next. All for our oil, and the coconut oil is a little clumpy, so I'm going to put it in the microwave and just warm it up so that those clumps will go away. And next I'm going to measure out our fragrance oil. I'll set the fragrance oil aside. And then I'm also going to be using some color today. So I'll get those mixed up really good. Sometimes I'll hydrate with sweet almond oil. That is what I'm doing today. Sometimes I just directly put the color in after a light trace. Okay. So we're going to use some different colors of blue for the sky and for the water. And I am going to use some white, and that's going to be to lighten up and soften some of the colors. Our insert for the sailboat has already been made, and I've already sculpted it, and it's ready to go. And it is made in purple, and I did do a moon in white, but it's going to go in there also. I'm doing my sailboat in a smaller mold, so I will definitely have soap left over to put in a second mold, and I'm going to do a column pour in the second one and try to put some inserts in that one. And then I have another mold also. Okay, so I'm going to check the temperature, and I have this wonderful heat gun. I'm going to check the temperature on my oil. And I'm going to go check the temperature on my lye and see if it is at a low enough temperature to soap. So I'm going to turn this off for right now. Okay, we're back. My lye and my soap are within 10 degrees of each other, so we are going to get started on mixing that together. I do add a little bit of sodium lactate to the lye water. That does help when you're working with it. I do have all my safety equipment on. I will slowly add the lye water to the oil mixture. You have to be very careful when you're working with lye. It will burn your skin. So you always want to make sure you have eye protection on. You only have one set of eyes. Okay, now that I've got that mixed in, I'm going to go neutralize the lye on my dish. Not right now. I also would like to point out that I am working in a very ventilated place, and I do have a fan going. Get our stick blender. Get this going. Trying to get all the air out. Start blending. And I continue to stir while I'm doing this. It helps the batter be more even. Just want to bring this to a light trace, and then we'll add our fragrance in. If I get it past the light trace, it's going to be very hard to work with, especially with the inserts. So we're just going to get a very light trace. Fragrance, and I cannot remember if this fragrance is one that accelerates trace, and I'm hoping it is not. So I'm going to stir this in instead of stick blending it, and then I'm going to divide my batter up. I don't need as much of the dark blue. This is actually my pattern that I'm going to be trying to make today for my sailboat scene. So it's dark blue and light blue. Dark blue for the water, light blue for the sky. I think I've got this mixed up pretty well, so I'm going to go ahead and separate some of this batter into another container. So we're going to do dark blue first. What we'll need first. Pour that in, and hopefully this is going to be enough. Leave this one, we're going to do the light blue now. Mix this one in. This is a beautiful color. Nice fragrance too. The fragrance we use today is called Electric Lemonade. I do buy it from Brambleberry. This is turning a little more green, so I'm going to add a little more blue. More to light. Okay. And normally I would stick blend my color too. The little bit of swirl that's in the color is really pretty. So I'm going to leave that. Okay, well, we are ready to go over and put that into our mold. So I'm going to turn off the camera and move it, and then we'll get started. Okay, so we've moved over to where the molds are. I am going to go ahead and get my dark blue and bring my pattern back over just so I can look at it. And we'll get started with this. So, just a little closer. So we're going to put a little on the bottom before we put our sailboat in. Even, and then here is our sailboat. You can see that is and then I'm going to try to set that right down in there. Okay, good. Now I'm going to pour some behind the sailboat. And then I'm actually going to try to tilt it up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go get my color for my sky. It's actually thickening up. Okay. I'm going to try to pour that in without moving the sailboat. Sometimes the soap pushes your inserts around, so hopefully. All right, I'm going to try to go ahead and put my moon in now and press it in place. And I kind of want it up towards the top, so I don't really want it to go down too far. All right, maybe just a little bit. Move it over just a tiny bit. So get some color behind it. Okay. All right, now I'm going to finish filling up my mold. Then I'll set this one aside and let the top harden just a little bit, then I'll come back and I'll do a finish on the top. And then what I'll do in the meantime, I have a lot more soap, so I have a column mold and I have some more inserts that I made up ahead of time also, which are purple from the sailboat. And I'm going to try to do a column mold and put some inserts in the column mold. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. First inset, I'm going to try to just slide down there to the bottom. This is our column mold, and these are inserts I made. Go in. Okay, that one slid in pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to transfer my soap batter over to my smaller container because I think it's going to be easier to pour it from that one. So we'll see. Okay. I made several of these inserts, so I actually just want the soap to get to the top of this one, and then I'm going to attempt to put another one in. Okay, so we're there now. Oh, it smells good. All right. So we're going to try to shoot another one down there. Oh, that one did good too. It's just a little crooked. I'm just going to move it over a little bit. Okay. Let's see how this goes. So we'll fill it up on this one too. Okay. I'm going to tap it down just a little bit. Okay. Let's try another one. Let's see. Yep, that one actually landed perfectly. So my batter's starting to thicken up. Okay. I see some air bubbles coming up. Good. All right. So we're going to do another one. Oh, perfect. It over a tiny bit. Good. And we'll just put this right in there. Ooh, lots of air. Tapping it down like this helps get all the air bubbles out. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, that was a little more crooked than what I'd like, so I'm going to try to get batter's kind of thick, so it kind of just globbed up there and stopped. So I'm going to try to move it over. There we go. And then push it down. Okay, perfect. That in there again. Yep, it's starting to get thick. Oh, that come up. So column holding it together. We definitely don't want that coming up. Okay. As it's getting thicker, they're not as easy to move. Okay, and we'll do another one. I'm getting real close to the top now. This one I think got a lot of air in it because the batter's getting so thick. Hopefully that got it out. If not, we're going to have air holes in our batter, in our soap, air pockets. Okay, this is almost all the way to the top. I think that's going to be our last one. And then I do have another mold. This is kind of slick. My hands are kind of oily. And all right. That's going to be it. That. Just kind of. Okay. It's going to be it for that one, so we'll set that one aside. And then we have some leftover soap batter, so we're going to go ahead and just put it in this mold and make some nice little medium-sized bars. So we'll get all of our batter in this smaller container. Okay, I actually had some swirls I thought I might use, and these. But yeah, I think we'll save those. We're just going to dump this batter in here because it's getting thick. Actually, it's going to be a little more two-tone because I had that darker blue for the water, the bottom. Can get it. Okay. This will make some pretty little medium-sized bars, and the smell is just awesome. It's got a great fragrance. Okay, so we are going to finish the tops on them now. Okay, usually like to put some type of a fun pattern on most of them on the top. Okay, I had to get a paper towel to keep my stick clean. All right, so we are gonna just do some swirls on the top, so we'll have a nice little interesting pattern. This also will get the soap to be a little more even at the top and not stick up quite so high. Okay, and you kind of have to wait till the soap sets up a little bit to do this. We'll just put a fun little interesting pattern. I actually just hit the moon on this side. The moon is actually a lot harder and drier. I made it up a while back, so I've got to be careful that I don't push it around so it stays in the soap where I wanted it. So I'm just going to do a nice little swirl pattern. Just give an interesting effect to the top of the soap. It will also help it do a little more even in the mold. So when we cut it, we can get the same weight. Close to the same weight on each part, not exactly the same weight. Clean this up a little bit, it's got a little bit of an edge. Just do a little bit in this one. I'm going to hit our S pattern and have it move. Okay. That's it for today's video. I am going to pick up the camera and just show you the top of the soaps where I made a pattern, which I have to take the glove off. Okay. So that is what we have with the medium size, and then this is what we have with our Scenic sailboat, and that is the column pour. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I'll come back and when we unmold and do a video, and when we cut the sailboat, we'll do a video and the column pour. Thank you very much. It's been 24 hours since we made our Scenic soap. I have already unmolded them and cut them, and I just want to do a short video to show you how cute they turned out. So we'll start looking at the sailboat soap. And these are how the column pour turned out, with a little S insert. And then the medium-sized bars with a swirl design on top. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe, please do so. Thank you very much.